I'm Derek Evil and I am an addict, and this is Addict MMA. UFC 99 is coming up next weekend. I'm sorry, it's been about a month since I've been online with you guys. I've been real busy. It's the summertime out here in Florida. We're working hard, so but that's no excuse. We're cutting it out right there. Throw it in the trash. No excuses from Derek Evil. Check this out. UFC 99, Rich Franklin versus Silva. This is going to be an incredible, stacked fight card. This fight card, I think, is almost more stacked than UFC 98 was. And, check this out. Starting off the fight of the night, starting off the first fight of the night, we've got the return of Mirko Krokop Filopovic, man, and he's going up against Mustafa Al-Turk. I'm going to definitely pick Mirko Krokop for this fight. And I know a lot of you guys might be out there thinking, hey, man, he didn't do so well at the UFC last time. What makes you think anything different now? Well, he says he's going to be coming back to dominate. He says he's going to squash the competition. I almost believe him. I think, the transition from Pride to UFC was hard on all of them. Even Shogun had a bad spill. Silva had a bad spill when he came over. I mean, it just happened to basically all of them. So here we go. Mirko Krokop's going up against Mustafa Al-Turk, a guy who just lost back in December of 08 to Cheick Kongo by TKO. This guy, I think he's more of a ground and pound striker. If he gets you to the ground, he's gonna tear you apart. But the thing is, Mirko Krokop is not one to be taken down easily, and if he gets that devastating left head kick, dude, it's over with. It's over. His striking ability is much better than Mustafa Al-Turk. I'm definitely gonna give this fight to Krokop. It's probably gonna end the same way, TKO or KO, probably in about the second round. I see Krokop definitely taking this guy out. No decision there. After that, we've got another return fighter. This is incredible, man. Like I said a couple of videos ago, this year is just the biggest year for MMA and UFC. It's just incredible. We've got the return of Caol Uno. You guys might remember him from way back in the lightweight days of the UFC, before when they had lightweights and then they didn't for a long time. He was one of them. Only thing about it is Caol Uno hadn't fought in a year. He hadn't fought since July 21st of last year in a Grand Prix tournament at Dream, and he lost in the finals due to, I think it was a TKO, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. It might have been a submission. I don't remember. But he's going up against Spencer the King Fisher. Spencer Fisher's one guy who's not going to be, taken down and abused on the ground. It's not going to be an easy task for Caol Uno. So I got to give this fight to Spencer Fisher. Stand up is strong. It's in there. I'm giving this fight to Spencer Fisher, but it's good to see Caol Uno back in the cage. Here's a big one. These two guys hate each other. Marcus Davis and Dan Hardy. This is going to be an excellent fight. This is going to be a knockdown, drag-out fight. I bet you this will almost be fight of the night material right here. I'm going with Marcus Davis. These guys don't like each other. Dan Hardy won a fight that he was supposed to lose a couple of months ago, which is great. He had some strong power. These guys are almost identical, and their records are each, I think Dan Hardy's got one more loss. 21-5, Spencer Fisher, 21-6 with one no contest. Dan Hardy. I'm giving this fight to Marcus Davis. Excuse me. I'm giving this fight to Marcus Davis. I think his ground game is much better. I think his stand-up is tighter, is stronger, and I'm definitely going to look forward to this fight. I don't want to see that in the first round. I think one of these guys is going to knock the other guy's head off, and I'm going with Marcus Davis. We've got Mike Swick going up against Season 9 Ultimate Fighter alumni, Ben Saunders. These guys are almost identical. They're lanky, kind of tall, Ben Saunders is. I'm going to go ahead and go with Mike Swick on this one, because I think he's got the octagon experience. He's been in the ring now, in the cage for a couple of years. He's also off the Ultimate Fighter. He's not as quick as he used to be now that he's cutting down in his weight, but I think he's getting better at the cutting weight. So I'm definitely going to give this fight to Mike Swick. It'll probably end up in a decision. These guys are going to beat each other up, but Mike Swick is very reserved in his fighting until he flurries on you. But until then, he's cool, and he's just picking his punches and he's doing his thing. I see this fight going to decision for Mike Swick. And the headline fight, you got Cheick Kongo versus Cain Velasquez. I'm looking forward to this because most part I want to say Cheick Kongo is probably going to win the fight because he usually does, and he looked great against Anthony Hardonk, not just recently in his last fight. So, but I'm going to go with Cain Velasquez on this one, guys. Cain Velasquez is 5-0, all TKOs, all in the first except for his last fight against Denis Stoynik. That was a second round TKO victory. This is a guy who will bash you, put you on your back and bash you. Cheick Kongo is a guy who's got great stand-up. But like I say all the time for Cheick Kongo, if you're gonna fight Cheick, put him on his back. Cain Velasquez, if he puts Cheick Kongo on his back, the fight's over. To be a Cain victory. I'd say second or third round TKO. Cain Velasquez. Now moving on to the meat and potatoes of this video, Rich Franklin versus Silva. I really don't know what to say about this because you got Rich Franklin, who's very unorthodox, left-handed style fighter. He trained himself, and now he trained, obviously he trained himself. We all heard the stories, my teacher, yeah, old news. But it's so unorthodox and such a versatile style that he brings to the table. It's very difficult. Anybody that fights Rich Franklin has a hard time unless your name is Anderson Silva. Vanderlei has not been looking that good lately. You know, he just got knocked out by Quentin Jackson real fast, which was, you know, several months ago. I'm pulling for Vanderlei. I have to. I named my daughter after him, Alexis Vanderlei. But I kind of see Rich Franklin winning this fight by a decision, unless Vanderlei can land one of them strong kicks. Basically, what it comes down to it, if Vanderlei can utilize the clinch, because you know he's great at it. That is Rich Franklin's biggest weak point, is that clinch style. So if Vanderlei can utilize the clinch, then it's nights over for Rich Franklin. And probably in the same way that Anderson Silva's fight against Rich Franklin did. That's if he utilizes the clinch. So I'm going to say I think Rich Franklin's going to win this fight by a decision, but I'm really pulling for Vanderlei. Those are my picks. Before I go, I got to say, guys, check this out. I'm a new addition to a radio show down here locally in Sarasota. It's called Tailgating with Moffitt and the Machine. If you're local, it's 1280 on your AM station, Saturdays 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock Eastern time. So for the rest of you guys that aren't in Eastern time, do the math and figure out the time frame, because I'm not gonna. You can also check us out on the web if you're not local. You know, we get a lot of my viewers, a lot of you guys aren't. You can check us out at WTMY.com, hit the webcam link, and it'll bring you to us at 1 o'clock on Saturday afternoons Eastern time. And next week, I'm going to do a bigger breakdown of this UFC 99 fight card than I am doing for you right now. So please, everybody, all my viewers, all my addict, junkie, MMA freaks, check me out at Tailgating with Moffitt and the Machine. This is Addict MMA, and I'm out.